All right, welcome. Thank you for coming to this video. You have made a good decision, and I want you to watch this because there's very important information, um, especially for the true Israelites of Almighty God Yahweh, the God of the Bible. Now, this book is called Black Jews in Africa and the Americas, and it's written by Professor Tudor Parfit. He's an expert on Judaism. He's a Cambridge professor. And on page 169, in the last paragraph, I'm going to start at the bottom. It says, in Africa, in Ghana, in Ivory Coast, in Nigeria, in Sierra Leone, in Cameroon, in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, in Uganda, in Kenya, in Malawi, in Cape Verde, in Ethiopia and Somalia, in Zambia, around the Great Lakes, in Congo, various groups have been constructed or have emerged into being for a wide range of historical reasons and now form a part of differentiated cultures, which are increasingly linked one with the other in the United States, Israel, Africa, and elsewhere, including Papua New Guinea, where there are altogether millions of adherents to some or other aspects of Black Israelism. Groups that exist increasingly consider themselves, and many may be considered by others, as a completely legitimate transnational Black Hebrew Israelite community with increasingly strong links with other sections of the Jewish world. So he said all these places, and I would like to throw in the Caribbean islands too, in the Americas, South America, and in North America, Central America, all the places where the slaves were sent to in the transatlantic slave trade. Now, what's important about this is that this he wouldn't say this if it were not true. He knows that we're the Israelites because I saw Professor Tudor Parfit. Now I'm getting this is not the whole subject. I'm going to get to why it's important that we're the Israelites. Okay. Now Professor Tudor Parfit said that the race known as Negroes. He said Negroes are Jews and Jews are Negroes. He was asked by someone, a black lady interviewing him, and he was talking about this whole subject of black Israelites. And he said that the true Jews, the true Israelites, are Negroes, and Negroes are Jews. So he knows that this is true. That's why he put it in. So, okay, so all over Africa, everywhere on the earth, the race known as Negroes, the, we are the children of God, okay? We're the children of Israel. Why is that important? Because God chose us, Almighty Yahweh, out of all the nations. Sorry about that. I got a tickle in my throat. Um, so Almighty God Yahweh has chosen us as his children. He chose us above all the people on the earth. And so I want to go over quickly why that's important and what must be done by the Israelites. What must we do now that we know? Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 7, verses 6 through 10. And I'm reading from from the World English Bible because it has Yahweh's name in there. Okay, so it says, for you are a holy people to Yahweh your God. Yahweh your God has chosen you to be a people for his own possession above all peoples who are on the face of the earth. Yahweh didn't set his love on you nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all peoples. Because Yahweh loves you, and because he desires to keep the oath which he swore to your fathers, Yahweh has brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondage from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know, therefore, that Yahweh your God himself is God. No one else now. There's no other God but Yahweh. The faithful God who keeps the covenant and loving kindness to 1,000 generations with those who love him and keep his commandments. Now listen, I'll stop. Let me go to 10. He repays those who hate him to their face to destroy them. He will not be slack to them who hates him. He will repay him to his face. So now let's go back to verse 9. It says that know that Yahweh your God himself is God, no one else. The faithful God who keeps covenant and loving kindness to those to 1,000 generations with those who love him and keep his commandments. Okay, so that's the most important things. That's also mentioned in Deuteronomy chapter 30 as well, with the chapter talking about the blessing and the curse that's offered to Israel. And so he said, so let me keep going. Let's see what else here. Now, we're going to get to the commandments after this. I want to say something right fast. As the Israelites, and we must understand as black people, and how we, gone through discrimination and all the things people who's been against us and the slavery and the oppression. We've been taught over the years, especially years ago, that we were the worst, we were the worst looking, we're the lowest of the low. But our history was hidden from us, and who we truly are was hidden. It was hidden from us that we're the children of God. And not only that, but Almighty Yahweh put a partial blindness upon us so that we remember who we are. Most of us. Most of us. And so it's important to understand this. The Christianity teaches this thing that we're all equal. We're all equal. But to many of the Christians who are of other nations, does it seem like they really think you're equal? Now, I'm not saying all, but I'm saying to many Christians from other nations, do they really act like they think you're equal, or do they have a strong dislike for you, or do they think that you're beneath them? We notice things, but it says, "For you are a holy people to Yahweh your God." Now look, and when you look, realize this is talking to black people, the race known as Negroes, with black skin, brown skin, woolly hair. People that have been our homeland has been colonized, and all types of in mistreatment and all types of things exploited and made fun of because of the way we look. But if there was something, now think about this: if there was something wrong with black people, if we something wrong with the way we look, if being black was wrong, if being black were wrong, then why did Almighty God Yahweh choose us as his chosen people? He had all other nations of the world that he could have chosen, but Yahweh chose us, the Negro. Yahweh chose us as his children out of all the people on the earth. And so it's not really true that all people are equal. What people didn't want us to know? You know what people hid? You know what people hid from us and the world? They hid the fact, okay? They hid the fact that all people are not equal, that us as the Israelites are chosen above all the people in the earth. And we were supposed to be a nation lifted higher than all the nations of the earth. Let's look at this. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verses 6 through 10. Let's go to verse 6. For you are a holy people to Yahweh your God. Yahweh your God has chosen you, black people, Negroes, Bantus, West Africans. Yahweh your God has chosen you to be a people for his own possession above all the peoples who are on the face of the earth. Did you hear that? He chose us. He chose black people. He chose people that are ostracized. People who in who've been enslaved by the hundreds of millions, that the slavery that has never taken place before in the history of the earth, before or after. There's never been anything like that before. And so realize this. This is what people did not want you to know. This is what they did not want us to know. That when you find out that we're the Israelites, we are the true Jews. We are the children of Almighty God, Yahweh of the Old Testament, of the Bible, the creator of the earth and all that's in it, the creator of the universe, chose us as his children. He chose Negroes, he chose black people. There is nothing wrong. There's a reason he did it. Praise Yahweh that we are his children. Praise Yahweh. Don't let anybody tell you it's enough to try to get people to treat us equally in many places, in many situations. But don't let anybody lie to you any longer and tell you that we're just equal, because right here in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6, it said that we're chosen, that Yahweh your God has chosen you to be a people for his own possession above all peoples who are on the face of the earth. We are all not equal, and we're still the children of God, and the covenant has not been broken. We can never run from who we are, because Yahweh Almighty God made a covenant with Father Abraham and promised that he would have a chosen people from his seed. And Yahweh says that we belong to him and he belongs to us. There's no way to escape it. So let's go to another one. I forgot about this. This is what Yahweh originally intended until our ancestors disobeyed Yahweh continually. Our ancestors were hard-headed, and because of them, our people have suffered a lot. It's not just, it's not, and think about this. All Israelites are living in exile. Whether you're living in Africa, you're living in, whether you're in West Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, the Bantus and the Bantu West Africans are the same people. The West Africans were Israelites were it's been proven. The West African Israelites, such as the Yoruba and Igbo, were in Africa first before the rest of East Africa, Central Africa, and South Africa um, were populated by the Israelites. I tell you something else. The vast majority of people in sub-Saharan Africa are Israelites, the children of God, the Bantus. And so I almost wish that West Africans and Bantus, they really should be in one category, because they're all the same people. They're all the same DNA. The Y DNA, E1B1A, and even the mitochondrial DNA from the mother matches all West Africans, and it matches us. That's how we know too that we're the Israelites, because the African Americans and other slave descendants in the Western Hemisphere, we have the same DNA, the exact same DNA. We are the same people. We are Bantu related. We are descendant. So Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 14. This is God Yahweh's original intention. He said, you will be blessed above all peoples. There won't be male or female barren among you or among your livestock. You will be blessed above all peoples. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 14, Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6 tells the story. We're all not equal. And remember, Yahweh's coming back very soon to gather us and take us back to our land. Now listen, I'll go over the commandments in the next video. I've run out of time. So if we need to keep the commandments and love Yahweh, we'll go over the commandments. Peace and blessings to you. Much love.